Welcome back, everybody. Jioge here, and it's Pixelmon time. That's right, we are back on the SRG Pixelmon server, and let's get back into our normal view here. And today I've got a lot of fun stuff to show you. We've got a lot of things going on the server, a lot of new things. So basically today's going to be a toury episode, and we're just going to go over all the awesome things we've done so far on the server since the last episode, and talk about some of the administrative work I've been doing on the server as the admin. And hopefully it'll give you some ideas for your server, for your survival world, your Pixelmon world, and it will entertain you at the same time. So right here, we have our event square. What I did was just wrapped the path that we previously had running that way around this area here where Frosty the Snowman is. We did get rid of Santa Claus. He left town because Christmas season's over. I'm recording this on January 2nd, so it's officially Christmas season is over now that it's no longer December. But it's still winter, so I'm going to leave Jack Frost here, let him spend some time here until winter's over. And so he's still here challenging people, giving people the Frost Breath TM, and giving people an ice block whenever you beat him. So he'll be sitting there in that corner. I built him a nice little container. And every time we have an event on the server, I'm going to go ahead and throw that event right into the event square here and build a little temporary container for him, for people and whatever is going on in the server to fight. And hopefully we'll have multiple events. We might even have more winter events coming up that Jack Frost will still be here, but other people might join him in the event square. So that's one thing we've got going on in the server. Got our temporary event square. Here we have our temporary trade field, and this time when I'm saying temporary, I mean we'll probably build a building here, build an official trade building right in the middle of the city. I think that'll be pretty cool, right in front of the Poke Center. We'll probably call it Trade Hall or something fun. And I don't have to be the guy that takes that project up. It could be another guy on the server, but whoever wants to do it, feel free to hop on in here and start building, because signs in the middle of a block is probably not the best city planning. Over here we have our community ice skating rink. I'm thinking about making this a little bigger, maybe putting it in a building. I didn't build this. I forgot who did, but yeah, I guess having an ice skating rink's fun. We could do that for sure. And let's see if riding it on a Pokemon is fun. Now I don't think I have any Pokemon that I can ride. Yeah, we'll go ahead and throw out our Gyarados. And of course, yeah, we're sliding. That was a little anticlimactic. But anyways, I am getting tired of eating cookies. I've decided that, first of all, for the MCMMO herbalism farmer's diet ability to take effect, you have to have 200 herbalism levels, or herbalism. I still have not figured out how that's said. And right now I am at 113, level 113. So right now eating cookies is not really the best plan of action. I feel like I'm constantly eating because they only restore 1 hunger, and the satiation, which means how fast you gain hunger back or like get hungry, it's really low on cookies. So essentially I'm just constantly eating the cookies, which if I were Santa Claus that'd be great, but I'm not quite Santa Claus. And you can see coming down here we have more roads going on. We have a road leading out this way. We'll probably have it wrap around just to shoot off in that direction. I'm guessing eventually there'll be a city off in that direction that we'll have our road leading up to. But yeah, that's in the future, not currently. We do have a chicken farm here made by Cypressy. Now I do think while this is really an egg farm, it doesn't really farm chickens. I think it'd be cool if we made like a restaurant here that it basically automatically cooks chicken and gives people a free food source. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Right now it's just an egg farm, but we could easily turn it into a source of food for everybody on the server. I think that'd be pretty sweet. In other news, I have found the Ghastly. If you look in my party, we'll go ahead and show you it. I found the Ghastly that I want to train into Gengar and use it on my final team. Special attack is the most important stat, it seems, for the Gengar move set for the Gengar sweeper whenever you have it on your team. So I think a nature that encourages the special attack is the best nature you can get. Now, all the move sets I looked up online wanted timid as the nature, but I searched for a long time and I couldn't find one. But what I could find was that this Ghastly has 76% IVs, which is pretty darn good. So I think we'll keep him. It has, of course, the important stats of speed and special attack and attack are all really high IVs. So I think we'll do good with this Gengar, or this Ghastly that will eventually turn into a Gengar. But for now, we will just simply train it up. First we'll have to do the EV training, and then we'll eventually have to do some more stuff with it, train up its levels and make sure it has all the moves we want. To show you another thing here that we have going on the server, we got our tutorial trail. It currently has nothing on it apart from these signs here. It says, welcome to tutorial trail, where you will learn about number 1, Pixelmon, number 2, plugins, number 3, the server. So what we're going to do on this trail, and we might do a little bit of it this episode, is we are going to create either buildings or pathways or signs or something that show people how to use the plugins and Pixelmon in general. And what I'm thinking is this trail is going to go all the way through here, all the way over to Cypress's route that he has set up there, which I'm not sure what we'll call it. We'll probably call it Route 1 or Route 10 or Route 100, something. Since it's the first route, it'll have the first number that we decide to assign it. So that'll happen right here. But we're going to have the road leading off, not quite up to the route, but over to about here probably. And then it'll loop around, and then there'll be a sign here that says, once you've reached a certain level, recommend you go and follow route that to begin your adventure, or to continue your adventure. And I think that would be pretty cool. That'd be a cool little addition to the training road. It would show people what they have to look forward to on the server, which is to go to another city, go to another gym. But it also will give them a sense of duty of what they're going to do now in the meantime. We also need to move our trail, or not move our trail, but add offshoots to the trail to that building and the bases back there. All of those aren't really city things, but they are parts of, they'll become part of the city once we get more buildings connected to it and everything. But right now they're estates of people who are on the server and who decided to make a town or a house in spawn. So that's something. I did remove the trader, and I'm not sure if I did that on the last video, but he essentially kept reverting to a state where he was no longer offering the Magikarp or the Starly for a Magikarp. He kept reverting to Machop for some other Pokemon, which was not at all close to what I wanted him to trade, and he kept reverting to it, which I'm not sure why. In other news, we do have our mineshaft here, and let's see if we can get there. Right here is our first offshoot of the mines. It's at iron level, so you can go through and mine and get coal and iron, which is pretty sweet. And I know you'll probably tell me that it's pointless to mine at that level because iron and coal shows up at the same frequency even in the lower levels. Some people think that since redstone, lapis, and gold and diamond are spawning down there, that you get less iron and gold. That's not actually true. But at the same time, I'm currently not in the market for that, so I'm going to save those tunnels down there for when I am in the market for redstone and lapis and gold and all that. I do like to come over here and just whack away at some of this for some herbalism levels, trying to get that up so we can get that farmer's diet benefit. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and show you a new plugin we have on the server, and that is Craftbook. So I guess that's something else. That doesn't actually show you everything that has to do with Craftbook, unless we use Craftbook about. And okay, that just says what version we're running. But Craftbook is essentially a plugin that a lot of popular servers use that allows you to do a bunch of different features like integrated circuits and teleporters and elevators, all sorts of stuff like that. And I want to show you a snow farm I built that automatically crafts the snow into snow blocks. Of course, Puff the Magic Dragon's fainted, so let's go back to spawn. Go ahead and hop in here. And we will heal up. So another thing we need to do after I show you the snow farm is show you a little bit about what Craftbook does. I haven't quite got it all configured yet. Oh, wrong guy. Let's go ahead and get Puff the Magic Dragon. Haven't quite got it configured yet. Gotten the Craftbook configured yet, because there are some commands that really shouldn't be implemented that are way overpowered. Like there are mob spawners, which we probably should get some mob spawners going, because you can't get those mobs from running around. I'm not sure if the mobs would even spawn or if they disappear or what, but we might look into that so we can have a source of their drops, like, you know, skeleton arrows and bones and stuff that are kind of important. Bone meal is pretty important for this mod, or not for this mod, but for Minecraft in general. So I'm gonna go ahead and sip some coffee. I might have told you that I got a nice coffee grinder for Christmas. And I'm making some good coffee with it, I've got to admit. Or don't mean to toot my own horn, but definitely some good coffee. So what we have here is the integrated circuit 1233, which is, if you know anything about Craftbook, it uses integrated circuits starting with MC and then a number. And basically it allows a certain function to appear. And depending on what integrated circuit it is, it might affect like the block behind it or the block above it. It might affect a chest or something. What this one does is if an item appears up on top of this block here, it will fly upwards. And then right in here, I'm going to do a shift right click on it, and that'll show us what that sign says. It's an automatic crafter, and so it auto crafts recipes in the above dispenser / dropper. So the above dispenser / dropper is right here. This is a dropper, and the recipe I currently have in it, which is a really cool feature Craftbook allows you to use. This is the main reason I wanted it, is to use the auto craft feature. And what it does is it automatically crafts snowballs that it picks up into the snow blocks, and it outputs them into this chest. So currently we have 0 there, and that's because I've filled up account 22 with all the snow blocks I've made, which is pretty cool. But let's go ahead and show you how it works. So we take out our stone shovel. We don't want to waste the durability on the diamond shovel, but we take out our stone shovel and we just start whacking away. And we start leveling up our excavation skills, get a lot of snowballs going. And while we're doing that, I'm not sure why I'm picking up snowballs, but don't want to break that block. We'll go ahead and keep mining this until we're almost done with our stone shovel. Then we make sure we have cobblestone in our inventory, and we use the repair command on the MCMMO mod or plugin to repair our stone shovel. So using this method, we get our excavation levels up with MCMMO, and we get our repair levels up, which is pretty sweet. And then we also get a great source of snow blocks, which are automatically crafted because the item fan shoots the snowballs up into the auto crafter, which is this sign, which goes into this dropper and then goes into this hopper or into this chest as snow blocks. So if you want to replicate this design on your server, like any server you play on that has both Craftbook and MCMMO, actually it doesn't even have to have MCMMO, just Craftbook with these integrated circuits enabled. What you do, you get those in, you make sure that the snow golem is underneath one block from this crafter, and this is kind of particular because I had the item fan on 3, and it was all the snowballs were, or most of them were just flying out everywhere. Like I would come up and I just have piles of snowballs here, or up here, or anywhere else, or above the chest. So what I did was I set the item fan to 2, set the automatic crafter to 1 block above the snow golem's head. So essentially you just make the automatic crafter right there, and you use, let me show you the command here. You use /MC1219S, and that turns it into an auto crafter, so it doesn't have to have a redstone signal or anything. You do that on the second line of the sign, and that's all you need to do for the auto crafter. And then as soon as it gets the blocks that are in here, like it'll detect if a block that enters its space here can be entered into the the recipe for whatever it's trying to make or whatever it's trying to craft, then it will pick it up automatically, put it in the dropper, and as soon as the dropper gets the right amount of snowballs, which is of course 2, it'll spit out 1 snow block into the chest. So that's basically how you build it. That's how it works. And it's really compact, really sweet. If you are trying to get up your MCMMO levels but don't really want to sit there and craft snowballs all the time, then this is a great method for you, using MCMMO and of course the craft book mod. Now if you're of course some servers have economies. I'm still trying to decide if we should have an economy on this server, and what that means is we just have like a source of money and maybe a shop, stuff like that. I'm still trying to decide if that's a good idea, because I'm trying to make this as close to the Pokemon games as possible, where you can, I mean, of course in the Pokemon games you can buy stuff at Pokemarts and stuff like that. So we might like consider having an economy and having Pokemarts and everything, so you can offer maybe a reward for people beating your gym, or you can trade with it, or you can just sell items. But some servers have you can sell snow blocks for money. So using this method, you can get a lot of snow blocks, sell a lot of that for money. Of course, if server owners watch this video, then they'll definitely nerf that. But it's a pretty cool method, anyways, to just sit there with your stone shovel and train up your MCMMO levels, and at the same time get a lot of blocks, a lot of building blocks, which of course I'm going to need for completing this giant cloud base. I've still procrastinated this. It's an unfinished project, and what I need to do is basically make this entire thing look poofy, which involves adding hundreds upon hundreds of snow blocks around the edges of this and around like in a circular pattern, just to make this whole thing look really poofy and cloud-like. Because right now from underneath you can just tell it's exactly what it is. It just looks like a gem, or like a square ring for some reason. It doesn't look like a cloud, which is what I want it to look like. If you notice that line of trees down there, that is something I was doing to work on my woodcutting levels for MCMMO, and it's pretty sweet. What you can do with MCMMO, like what some people do, they use the tree feller ability, which is where you hold right click on a diamond axe and then hit a tree. What they'll do is they will use that on a jungle tree, which is pretty cool. It like mines the jungle tree for you. You get all the wood, get all the saplings, and that's pretty sweet. But what the other thing you can do is just line up a bunch of oak saplings, and they'll grow together, so that once you hit one block, all of them fall down, instead of just one. Of course, my axe doesn't have very much durability, so this may not work. It might say the axe splintered into dozens of pieces. In fact, it did. I lost the axe. But if you have enough durability on your axe to cut down all those blocks, then you can easily cut down a huge strip of trees, which is why when I show you my account 16, by the way, if you haven't seen my previous episodes where I show you the item bank plugin, that's a pretty important plugin that you should know about, because it allows you to have all these accounts and you can carry all your items with you, which you might think takes away some of the fun of the vanilla Minecraft, but it also adds to the Pokemon feel, which is what we're trying to accomplish on this Pixelmon server. So essentially, you've seen my account 16 is completely full of oak wood. So you might ask, where in the world are you storing your oak wood? The answer is on page 3, or page 4, it says if an account fills up, its bulk storage address is 100 times its account number. For instance, snow bulk storage is 2,200 to 2,299, stuff like that. So the bulk storage for the wood is 100 times 16, which I'm just now realizing that I accidentally was putting all my oak wood in account 160, but we need to move that to account 1600 as our bulk storage address. So let's go ahead and put the oak wood in there, then open up account 160 again. We'll move all the oak wood using this method back to account 1600. I really like the item blank plugin. I should do a plugin review on my channel. I think I will probably at some point. Not today. I have a ton of work shifts, which we need to discuss why I haven't been doing too many episodes lately. And that's because my work scheduled me 7 shifts this week. If you know anything, I'm about what I do. I am a server at a restaurant here in town. And this week, they scheduled me 7 shifts, which is kind of disappointing because I was like, oh, it's winter break. I should be able to make a bunch of videos, have a bunch of fun playing games, you know, hanging out with friends and family, which I have done some of that, and I guess a lot of hanging out with friends and family. But every other minute of my day is taken up by work because they gave me 7 shifts this week. Of course, I told the manager that I still want to have the 3 to 4 shifts that I normally have during the school year, because I do want to enjoy my break a little bit. What's a break if it's not a break, right? So that's important, and hopefully I can get those shifts off, or not. I'm not getting the shifts off, but get less shifts scheduled next week, so I can spend a lot more time making videos with you guys and enjoying what I do here. So the first thing I want to do on Tutorial Trail is get out my handy dandy trainer editor, and we are going to create a trainer. Now, I'm not sure if we should create like a building for the trainers, but for now, let's just create a trainer and work on an idea. So the first thing about Pixelmon that people need to know, so Pixelmon is we're basically going to describe Pixelmon, mod that implements, or that implements Pokemon into Minecraft. I think actually what we're gonna do is make a wall and put all of the signs on there, or like, here's what we want to do. Let's make a fence. I'm thinking out loud, thinking on camera. It's not something I normally do, but I really want to do it this episode. Get kind of a fun little let's actually do stuff this episode. Like normally we just run around and tour and talk, and this episode I think it'd be cool if we have stuff going. So let's go ahead and go to account 17, where I have some sticks. Actually, fences is what I want. I don't care about sticks. I want fences. And then we need to go to account 1600, get some of our wood out. Then we will turn that into planks. And what I need to do is build myself a makeshift sign. And this is going to be the first sign here. And we'll put it right here. And the way you build this cool little makeshift sign, it looks like a notice board. And what we're doing is putting the sign like this. And that way we can put 6 signs on it, and it'll all be in a cohesive manner. And we're going to have a lot of these scattered throughout Tutorial Road, just to add a little zest to what is going on here. And it just looks like a giant version of a sign. Now I'm not sure, maybe I should use oak wood for the material. Not sure, maybe not. We will decide later. But first of all, we want to put a sign down, and we want to say, welcome to Pixelmon, a mod where Pokemon is implemented into Minecraft. To begin, wait, okay. You already chose your starter. To begin your journey, start fighting and gaining and building, okay, and build your team. And now let's make a trainer. We're going to put him right here. And we want to edit him. And a new thing they added to the Pixelmon mod, the trainer editor to be more specific, is that you can add custom names to your, or not custom names, custom skins to your Pixelmon. This is exactly what I wanted. And I think I've mentioned it in a previous episode. What I want is to be able to add a name to the guy, and give him a skin of any Minecraft player in the world. So basically what we're going to do, let's use my skin for now, Jioge, and we'll name him tutorial battle. And then what we're going to do is, or let's call him fire starters. Let's make a trainer for every starter that there is in the game. So what we want to do is go ahead and edit his party Pokemon. Add. There are 5 total starters. And first one, we're going to put Charmander. Change Pokemon. And we want them to be a very low level so people have a chance of beating them. So we'll do level 5. And we'll keep them at level 5 so people can go through and just beat them whenever they feel like it. And we're going to... The first thing we're going to do is make sure he's once per MC, or once per player. No, once per MC day. That's a good one. And he's not going to be a boss. And I think I need to research who all are the starter Pokemons. I know for sure there is, let's see. There's Charmander. There's Infernape. Which, what does Infernape start as? Here, I'm gonna Google this real quick. All the fire starters in Pokemon. Okay, so I need to get a list here of starter Pokemon, and then we'll go ahead and take a look. We have Quilava, that's one, which I have never seen a wild Quilava yet on this game. I'm not sure where to find them. Change Pokemon to Quilava. And we definitely want that guy to be level 5, not level 1 million or whatever that was. Next up is Torchic. After that is Chimchar. After that is Tepig. So we'll do Torchic. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Torchic. Okay. Next up is Chimchar. And for those of you who know a lot about Pokemon, you're probably screaming at your screen right now, how do you not know the starter Pokemon? But I was raised on Gen 1 Pokemon, so I really have no idea like what happened after Gen 1. After Gen 1, really, because I have not kept up with Pokemon after that, because it's just too many Pokemon to remember, too much like stuff to go into it. Although now that I play on Pixelmon, I probably will start like learning what every Pokemon is, what every Pokemon's good for. Eventually I should have all of the ones that are in Pixelmon down, have knowledge of them, especially once I start hunting to catch all the Pokemon. But for now we have Firestarter level 5. His custom player name will be Jioge. Actually, we probably want to find like a good fire skin from someone on the internet, but for now we'll just put him as Jioge, and we'll change his skin later. Because I do look like a bit of a fire guy, don't I? Fire starters, level 5. And of course, we'll add one for water and grass. But I think you get the purpose of what is going on here. But this video has gone on long enough, and hopefully we'll go ahead and wrap up the episode. And hopefully if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a thumbs up and do a comment. I do want to challenge you to make a comment describing what you think should go on this tutorial road, what you think I should do with the plugins, and also if you think we should have an economy on the server, like an economy plugin that will add money to the server and allow us to make shops. I'm not sure if we should, but I could use your help, use your reasoning. Don't just say, yes, you should have a economy plugin, but also go ahead and do some good reasoning, some good logicking. But this episode is now coming to a close, and let's show ourselves next to ourselves. And this is Jioge and Jioge saying, see you next time.